The spotlight burned my skin, but it was his words that set my world ablaze. "I love you, Ethan," James said, his voice trembling through the microphone, echoing across the packed Broadway theater. The audience gasped, thinking it was part of the play. But I, standing frozen in the wings, knew it was real and it wasn't for me. I was Liam Carter, the quiet artist who'd fallen for James Harper, the dazzling actor whose star was rising faster than my heart could keep up. We'd been engaged for 6 months. Our love a secret kept from the world to protect his career. That night, I'd come to watch his debut as the lead in Shades of Valor, a play about forbidden love. I'd sketched him in my notebook during rehearsals, capturing the way his hazel eyes lit up under stage lights, the way his smile could unravel me. But now, those eyes were locked on Ethan Blake, his co-star, as he poured his heart out in front of thousands. My chest tightened. The air sucked out of the theater. Ethan, with his perfect jawline and effortless charm, stood center stage, looking as stunned as I felt. The script didn't call for this. James had gone off book, declaring his love for Ethan in a moment that would headline every gossip column by morning. I dropped my sketchbook, the pages fluttering like my shattered heart, and slipped out the stage door into the cold New York night. The city swallowed me whole. I didn't go back to our shared apartment in Brooklyn, where his Broadway posters lined the walls and our engagement rings sat in a velvet box. Instead, I wandered, my sneakers pounding the pavement past neon signs and honking cabs, until I ended up at a bus station. I bought a one-way ticket to nowhere, some small town in upstate New York called Havenwood. I didn't tell anyone. Not my sister. Not my best friend. Not even James. I turned off my phone, erased my social media, and vanished. Havenwood was a speck on the map, a place where people didn't care about Broadway scandals or broken engagements. I rented a tiny cabin by a lake, using the last of my savings. By day, I painted landscapes, the kind of art I'd abandoned when James's career took over our lives. By night, I stared at the stars, wondering how I'd misread him so completely. Had our love been a lie? Every whispered promise, every late-night kiss, had it all been a performance? Weeks turned into months. I grew a beard, let my hair grow shaggy, and became someone new, a quiet man named Will, who sold paintings at the local farmer's market. The townsfolk liked my work, but they didn't ask questions. I liked it that way. Still, I couldn't escape James entirely. His face was everywhere, in magazine covers at the grocery store, on TV screens and diner windows. Broadway's heartthrob searches for lost love. The headlines screamed. I didn't read them. I didn't want to know. But Havenwood wasn't as isolated as I thought. One crisp October morning, a stranger showed up at the market. She was a journalist, her press badge glinting in the sun. "Are you Liam Carter?" she asked, her voice sharp but curious. I shook my head, muttering something about being Will, but her eyes narrowed. She'd seen my paintings, she said, and they matched the style of sketches posted online by James's fan sketches of him, drawn by me, now circulating as part of his desperate search. I packed up my stall and left before she could ask more. That night, I sat by the lake, my heart racing. James was looking for me. Why? To apologize. To explain. Or to twist the knife deeper. I didn't know. But I couldn't stay in Havenwood. I had to keep moving. Keep hiding. Not because I hated him, but because I still loved him. And that was the worst part of all. I caught a bus to Portland, Maine. The next day, the salty air and rocky coastline felt like a fresh start. I found work at a bookstore, shelving novels and avoiding eye contact. But James's shadow followed me. His latest interview played on a radio in the shop. I made a mistake, he said, his voice cracking. Liam, if you're out there, I'm sorry. I'm looking for you. My hands shook as I stacked books, but I didn't respond. I couldn't. Not yet. In Portland, I met Sam, a barista with kind eyes and a quiet laugh. He didn't know my past, and I didn't tell him. We'd talk over coffee, and for the first time in months, I felt a spark of something new. But every time Sam smiled, I saw James's face, and the guilt hit me like a wave. I wasn't ready to move on. Not when James's voice still haunted me. Not when I still wore our engagement ring on a chain around my neck, hidden under my shirt. One night, alone in my rented room, I turned on my old phone. Hundreds of messages flooded in: friends, family, James. His texts were a mix of pleas and apologies. I was wrong. I was scared. I love you, Liam. Please come back. I stared at the screen, my thumb hovering over the reply button. But what could I say? He'd humiliated me, broken me, and now he was chasing a ghost. I powered the phone off and threw it into a drawer. The next morning, I saw a poster on a lamppost. It was James, his face larger than life, advertising a one-man show in Boston. A Love I Lost. The title read. My stomach churned. Was this about me? Against my better judgment, I bought a ticket. I told myself it was closure, a way to say goodbye. But deep down, I knew I was still tethered to him, no matter how far I ran. Boston was a city of ghosts, its cobblestone streets echoing with memories of James and me. We'd come here once, early in our relationship, laughing as we got lost in the North End, sharing gelato under a street lamp. Now, I sat in the back row of a small theater, my hoodie pulled low, watching James take the stage for A Love I Lost. He looked different, thinner, his eyes shadowed with exhaustion. The play was raw, a one-man confessional about a man who destroyed the best thing in his life. James spoke of fear, of fame's pressure, of hiding who he was to please the world. I loved him, he said, his voice breaking. But I was too weak to say it out loud until it was too late. The audience was silent, captivated. I gripped the armrest, my heart pounding. The play wasn't fiction. It was us. Every word, every gesture, was a piece of our story, our late-night talks, our quiet mornings, the way I'd sketch him while he rehearsed lines. He described my paintings, my laugh, the way I'd made him feel whole. But he also spoke of Ethan, his co-star, as a fleeting obsession, a moment of panic when fame demanded he be someone he wasn't. I thought I loved him, James said. But it was Liam all along. Tears burned my eyes. I wanted to run, to scream, to forgive him. But I stayed, rooted to my seat, until the final bow. As the crowd applauded, James scanned the audience, his gaze lingering as if he sensed me. I slipped out before the lights came up, my heart a tangle of anger and longing. Back in Portland, I tried to rebuild. Sam asked me out, and I said yes, hoping to bury James in the past. Our dates were gentle walks along the harbor, talks about books and dreams. Sam was steady, kind. Everything James hadn't been that night on stage. But when he leaned in to kiss me one evening, I froze. "I'm sorry," I whispered, pulling away. "There's someone else." Sam nodded, understanding more than I deserved. The truth was, James's play had cracked something open in me. I couldn't stop thinking about his words, his regret, the way he'd bared his soul. I started painting again, but now my canvases were filled with him, his eyes, his hands, the stage where he'd broken me. One painting, a stormy abstract of a man reaching into darkness, won a local art contest. It was displayed in a gallery, and I didn't realize my mistake until the journalist from Havenwood reappeared. "Liam Carter," she said, cornering me at the gallery opening. "James Harper's been looking for you. This painting, it's him, isn't it?" I denied it, but she'd already snapped a photo. By the next day, the internet was buzzing. "Missing fiancé found in Maine." The headlines speculated. My quiet life was unraveling. I packed a bag and left Portland that night, heading west to Seattle. I thought distance would save me, but James was relentless. His social media posts were everywhere, pleading for me to come forward. "I'll find you, Liam," he wrote. "I'll make this right." Fans turned it into a global scavenger hunt, analyzing my paintings for clues. I felt hunted, exposed, my heart laid bare for the world to dissect. In Seattle, I took a job at a community center, teaching art to kids. Their joy was a balm, but it couldn't erase James. One evening, a kid brought in a magazine with James's face on the cover. "He's sad," the kid said, pointing. "Why is he sad?" I mumbled something vague, but the question lingered. Why was James doing this? Was it guilt, or something deeper? I started writing letters I never sent, angry once, loving once, confused once. In them, I poured out everything, the pain of that night, the love I still carried, the fear of being hurt again. One night, I left a letter at a coffee shop by mistake. A barista found it, recognized my name from the headlines, and posted it online. The words went viral. "You broke me, James, but I still see you in every star." The internet exploded. James responded with a video, his face pale and earnest. "Liam, I read your letter. I'm coming for you. Not for fame, not for show, just for you." He was in Seattle, performing at a theater downtown. My heart raced. I couldn't hide anymore. The world was closing in, and so was he. Seattle's rain matched my mood as I stood outside the theater, my hood up, staring at the marquee, "James Harper in A Love I Lost." I hadn't planned to come, but my feet carried me here, drawn by a force stronger than reason. The letter, the video, the world watching it was too much. I needed answers, even if they destroyed me. Inside, the theater was packed. I took a seat in the shadows, my heart hammering as James stepped into the spotlight. The play was different now, expanded with new scenes: our first date, the night we got engaged, the moment I disappeared. He spoke directly to the audience, his voice raw. "I lost him because I was afraid," he said. "But I'm not afraid anymore. Liam, if you're here, I love you. I always have." The crowd erupted, but I couldn't breathe. His words were a lifeline and a wound, pulling me toward him and pushing me away. When the play ended, I didn't run. I waited in the alley by the stage door, rain soaking my clothes. James emerged, his eyes scanning the darkness. Then he saw me. "Liam," he whispered, stepping closer. I wanted to hate him, to walk away, but his face tired. Hopeful. Broken held me there. "Why?" I asked, my voice shaking. "Why, Ethan? Why on stage?" He explained, his words tumbling out. Fame had suffocated him. The pressure to be perfect, to hide our love, had driven him to a breaking point. Ethan was a mistake, a moment of confusion he'd regretted instantly. "I thought I could be someone else," he said, "but I only want to be yours." I didn't know if I could trust him. But when he reached for my hand, I didn't pull away. We stood there, rain blurring the world. And for the first time in a year, I felt whole. "I'm not ready to forgive you," I said, "but I'm here." James nodded, tears mixing with the rain. "That's enough for now." We didn't go back to who we were. Instead, we started over. James left Broadway, choosing smaller theaters where he could be himself. I painted again, my art bolder, truer. We moved to a quiet town in Oregon, where we could love without cameras or headlines. The world moved on, but our story didn't need their approval. One night, under a sky full of stars, James took my hand. "I searched the world for you," he said, "and I'd do it again." I smiled, the ring on my finger catching the moonlight. "You found me," I replied. And in that moment, I knew we'd found something even greater, a love that could break, bend, and rebuild, stronger than before. The end wasn't a grand gesture or a spotlight moment. It was us, together, choosing each other every day. And that was enough.